11 of Sitara Speaks, doing daily lives through the month of November. So with these transmissions, all I do is invite you to be open, allowing yourself to receive. What I do here is I create an energetic container, so it doesn't matter if you're here watching it with me live or you're watching the replay, that this energetic container is created. So no time, no space. It doesn't matter that you're not sitting right next to me, and it doesn't even matter that you're watching it here with me in the moment that I'm recording this. And through that, we create a unified field of conscious understanding. So what I do is I connect into that field and I channel the guidance that is here and available to all of us. So that's where and why with my videos, I say you're watching it at exactly the right time, at exactly the right place. And you're also encouraged to tune into the videos as many times as you would like. With the light language and the transmissions that come through, they're able to go in and through as deep as you are able to receive in that moment at that time. So when you come back and listen to it again and you already know a little bit more about what's going to come through, the transmission works a little bit deeper. I do everything I can to make sure that healing can be as gentle and graceful and easy as possible. I've been on my own healing journey since my early 20s, conscious focus on, okay, this is creating this circumstance. I don't want that to happen anymore. How can I love myself more? But it has been bumpy. And with some of the mentors that I had, there was all sorts of different styles of how do you go into this and how do you face your shadow and how do you integrate these aspects of self. And like I said, since I've been doing this for over 10 years, I've really decided that I want to heal through joy. I want to heal through laughter. I want to heal through magnetism. And that doesn't mean that we ignore the dark or ignore the shadow aspects of ourselves, because those are oftentimes the parts that need or require our attention in order to integrate. It's that we meet them with love and we meet them with joy and we meet them with full acceptance to say, oh, you're part of me, welcome. Oh, you're part of me, welcome. Oh, you're part of me, welcome. Because there's so many parts of us that get split and fragmented through the course of life. It's just, it's what happens. None of us are immune to this experience. So as we become whole, and it's not that we become whole as into who we were and in our divine nature of when we were born, the whole reason of this is to evolve and ascend consciousness together. So as we evolve, we influence a collective that is connected to source. Let's just simply call it the apex of all that is. And so as we are giving information to source, source is giving us a feedback, so it's a constant feedback loop. As we have 8 billion incarnated souls and who knows how many others that are not incarnated, meaning these are spirits outside of body, that are constantly feeding information into the cycle, right? We evolve through that because we have the spark of that divine connection within us at all times anyways. So as we evolve, we give that information to source. Source inputs all of it from all dimensions, all spaces and times, all parallel realities, all anything that's ever existed. It's a massive database of all of existence. We are able to then feel this within our own heart space. So monad is that spark of divine connection. It's actually the indivisible spark of divine frequency that lives at the core of all sentient beings. So when we talk about accessing soul memories and we talk about connecting into our own higher self, we've got the program, the 7 weeks to embody your higher self, which I highly, highly, highly recommend if you want to go deeper into this journey to embody more of who you came here to be through your authentic sovereign nature. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into a channel. Let's see what comes up and through. As we call in divine truth and love into the sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing for each and every viewer, replayer, and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. Honoring what is and acknowledging a deep, deep, deep bow of gratitude for all that we have in this present moment, all that is working for us, all that is aligned with our highest and greatest good, and all of the support that is here for us in this world and also outside of our physical bodies. Iana ia wa uapu aka anaya ha aka nisi. Ika na ia wa uapu aka na haikia. Sisi ane iaka anaka uapua unakai. Iaka nakai susunakai ia wa atanakai. Ia tanaki ia wa uapua ha aka ania wa akapua. Go ahead and connect your root chakra that's right there at the base of your spine, all the way down to the center of the planet. And as you feel that connection from your root chakra all the way down to the center of the planet, acknowledge that you are setting your energetic frequency or energy being also on release. This will let go of emotional baggage. This will let go of cords of attachments. This will let go of any and all frequencies that are not aligned in your field, to be able to let go and release so that you can continue to evolve into your sovereignty. So when we experience interactions or conversations with different people, and different people activate different aspects of ourselves, right? We have all this different kind of medicine that each person brings out. We're the same person, but it brings out a different person. Like if somebody laughs at my jokes, I crack more jokes. If somebody wants some healing, I communicate to them differently than I do when I'm like cracking the dad jokes, right? So all these different aspects of ourselves want to come into that wholeness. They want to come into that experience. But when we interact with other humans, it activates these parts of us so that we can see where we have parts. And this brings us into the integration. This brings us into the wholeness. This brings us into the activated presence of your I am awareness, so that you're not living two double lives, so that you're not living in three different identities, so that you're not living outside of who you are with every single human being. I often like to use the analogy that I can be the same person I am with my grandmother as I can be here with you, as I can also be with my best friends, that there's, yes, an opportunity in some people, some places, right? We can let more of our guards down so that we can just speak freely. In some, we want to be very careful with our words to be very articulate. These are just different parts of who we allow to come out and come through. Ultimately, when we come into wholeness, we integrate all of these parts so that we are the same person around all beings, all people. So that's where these parts coming together is very important for us to be able to see the light and divinity that is within us, that shows us that all parts are deserving of love, that all parts are worthy of love, that all parts are forgivable, that all parts, whatever, if you have hurt yourself in the past, or you have had a low value of self-respect, or you have done things to hurt yourself, or you have done things to hurt others, bringing in the value of self-forgiveness in such a way that you did not. And it's not justifying. It's not like creating an excuse. It's not like, well, I didn't know what I knew then. It's just simply saying, okay, I see you and you are lovable. I see you and you are acceptable. I see you and you are forgivable, because I see you as part of the entire whole that I am. And if I am on a journey, or if I have a desire to love myself in my full totality, if I have a desire to love myself in my full wholeness, then these pieces and parts of ourselves that are calling out for love, oftentimes because they start flaring up for attention, all of that starts to come in and brings and anchors a very, very deep value of self-respect that will start magnetizing people, places, things, and events that meet you at that frequency. So when you integrate these parts of yourself that are kind of kicking and screaming and wanting attention, or like kick up drama or whatever that is, and sometimes we can get pulled into other people's. It's fine if you do. Stop and pause and recognize, what's your role? What are you choosing to, participate in? But if you give yourself the opportunity to be able to see that it is simply a part of you that is calling on for your attention, then when you sit in meditation and you call that part in, and we can do that right now, that when you call that part in and you can be with that part and ask, what is it that I can give to you? What can I do that will make you feel supported? What can I do that will help you feel seen? What can I do that will bring you in to unison and into harmony with the other parts of me that are choosing to be ambitious, that are choosing to, drive the boat, that are choosing to create? And let's say you have this part that's like criticizing and saying no, or kicking and screaming, or sabotaging, or, saying hurtful things in a relationship. It's like these parts can come up in all sorts of different ways. And so when they come up, when you notice that your behavior is actually acting in a way that's saying, I need attention, I need this part of me to be seen, then I encourage you to sit and give that part of you attention, because it's the rejection of that aspect of self that actually magnifies and makes the circumstance or the situation a lot bigger than it needs to be. So by creating that peace and creating that harmony within, we are just simply creating a more peaceful life journey, right? We've all seen where we have been the ones that have created like a storm that wasn't even really necessary, but it's simply because there's an internal part that was calling for attention. So let's go ahead and set the intention to connect with that part right now. Whatever part for you is coming up that is alive or active, or saying, yeah, hi, I could use some attention right now. And we see this with children. Some children act up. They act out because they want attention. And even if negative is attention, or because they're getting in trouble is attention, they'll still do that to get the attention that there's a part of them that needs it. So attention is extremely powerful. Let's pull these aspects, pull them one direct in front of us. Ia niawa ua pua akana ia haakaniawa. Ia ua ana iawa ua pua akana iawa a. As you're sitting with that aspect of self, simply open up a telepathic dialogue using your imagination and ask that part of yourself, what is it that I can offer you? What is it that I can give you that will be supportive to you now, that will help you to feel loved and seen and nurtured? Because I'm here with you. I'm here for you. This also strengthens confidence and connection to self. That if you know you are your strongest ally and you know you are your greatest cheerleader, then you will continue to expand in really beautiful and powerful ways. Yawa anaya akanaya, yawanaya akanaya, uapua ha'aniyawa, yawa uapua anaya ua aya anaya, yawa yawa nayawa yawa niyawa yawa ukuapuana ha'ikiawa yawa unakai, iananadake yawa uapua atanake, oatanake atanake yawa uapua, iasanakai, uapuna ayawa tu'ukunayawa, iawa sasanaya ha'ayawa puakayawa, itanaya uapu sasanaya ha'akapua. And in some cases, if it feels right to you to hold that aspect of yourself, maybe it is you at 8 years old, maybe it's you at 14 years old, maybe it's you at 5 years old, whatever age, whatever emanation is showing up, if it feels right for you to hold that piece, hold that part, hold that aspect of you on your lap, just giving it that nurturing, divine, parental love, that nurturing, divine, unconditional love that says, I'm here, I'm with you, you're not alone. And simply feel what you feel and notice what you notice. As these parts of you come into a unified connection, these parts of you come into a unified field. Power and beauty of grace within. Taking a couple nice big deep breaths as you slowly watch that part of you dissolve into the wholeness of your being. Yana yawa uapua ana ia haakana ia kua uasa ana ia uapua na haaka. Ia nua uapua ana akayana haakapu ukuna haaka. Ia asa niawa uapu ukua anakai. Ia na yawa uapua anakai. Ia sanakai. Iawa uapua haanakai. Beautiful. And again, allowing yourself to release all that can be released. Connecting again your root chakra, bringing your awareness from your root all the way down to the center of the planet, all the way down to the center of Mama Gaia. Connecting in that divine radiance. Feeling as you are held, feeling as you are nurtured, feeling as you are seen, feeling as you are appreciated and connected to your inner being of light, your inner being of illumination. As we have reached the quickening, healing is taking place very fast. So when you do these experiences, or when you go into integrating these parts, you can also ask for the healing of the ripple effect, that all other parts that are associated or connected to this in bigger ways or even smaller ways can be brought into the unified field simultaneously. So you can set the energy and set the intention that you'll be able to receive the maximum healing benefits in the shortest amount of time, so that you can continue to bring yourself into the wholeness of your being. And this is the thing, is that the mind is not to be thrown out. The egoic consciousness is not to be thrown out. In fact, the mind actually becomes a conductor of allowance. A mind actually becomes the authority of, this is what I'm willing to receive. The mind has to choose free will, or has to choose the acceptance of all aspects of self. The mind, the egoic defense mechanisms that have created separations from all aspects of self, must also choose to participate. And that's when you bring a really, really powerful alliance between your intuition, your heart, and your mind. And when these parts are all working in unison with each other, there's a really strong cultivation of power and presence and acceptance that, again, fortifies that connection between you and you, so that there is no separation, and you build unwavering self-confidence and self-conviction in what you came here to do, and that there is nothing that you cannot accomplish. And so with that, my sweet loves, I want to encourage you to tap into the 7 weeks to embody your higher self course. I really encourage you to go deeper with this. It is so, so, so powerful. You can find it in the description of the video below, or on my Instagram at sitara.speaks, and the link in the bio there as well. Let's go ahead and do one more flow of light codes, just to really bring this all together one more time. Also honoring the cycle of completion, that integration is done, is done, is done. So, Yatanakaya wa uapua ha'anaya, sisi anakai, uapua nakai, tutukarake, anakai kurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurakapu, tukaraka, anakai kurkurkurkurkurkurkurku. Yatakanaki, atakanaki wa sasanakai, ia sasanakai wa uapua ha'akanakai. Sea tanakai, uapua nakai, ia watutakai nikia wa uapua, saya tanakai, uapua na haakai, tanaki, yatataki, utakanaki wa pukua. Sunakai, haa tanakai, uapua tataka, takanakar kurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkurkur kua kanakai iwa tanakai. Ia tanakai iwa uapua kua sua ha'anakai awa ha iwa puanakai. Take a nice big deep breath again, connecting root chakra or letting go down to the center of the planet. And bringing in, filling yourself with light. However you see that. I really like to see it as the center of my heart, that divine spark that is at the core of my being, the core of my presence. I like to see that just simply growing and emanating and emanating and emanating and emanating and shining and shining and shining, and all other menial, trivial other things that I'm like concerned about or blah, 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 just dissolving, transmuting on contact, filling myself up with that internal light source. So thank you for joining me on this journey to anchor heaven on earth, to bring in these multidimensional frequencies. As you are a conduit between realms, you are so much more powerful than you think. And I want to again say thank you for joining me, taking the time to be with yourself, And of course, please tune into the other videos that have come through, as well as new moon and full moon. We've got another big deep dive this week. So I'll be sharing more with you on that. And if you want to get updates on things that are coming in timing, there's also a link to the Telegram group in the description below. So you'll get little notifications or heads up when I do go live. So you'll be sure not to miss. All right, my sweet love, I will see you very soon. And as we go forth, may we integrate the healing and the lessons received with courage, self-love, and compassion. Our session here today is very much in love and very much complete. Mwah! Ciao, ciao.